Okay, so once an entrepreneur, always an entrepreneur. If you allow me, I'm going to bring you down memory lane. And, I would like to speak more about the time when you started your entrepreneurial journey, or also your career. It was back then in the 90s, in the dawn of the internet. You have witnessed the dot-com bubble firsthand. You now are also an active entrepreneur and an investor in the age of AI. What is the most exciting moment in the tech industry that you've been through, and what is your personal drive to be part of it?
I think it is the fact that the domain is constantly evolving, and from time to time, every 10 years, there are major shifts happening. So back when I started in the very early 90s, there were very few programming languages and operating systems. To be a programmer, for instance, was something that you had to be passionate about because it was very complicated to get there. And very soon in the late 90s, a lot of languages appeared, because before you had only like C or C++ and maybe a couple others, Pascal, the basic that were used. But in the late 90s, a lot of languages appeared like Java, JavaScript, C#, Python, and they gave birth to a much bigger population of programmers and of tech people. A lot more people got attracted into tech. Also, early 2000s, a lot of websites appeared, and then the bubble happened, and that also was a huge catalyst to more entrepreneurship, or for the domain to grow, right? Mm-hmm. And then it was a little bit of calm for a while because the whole tech was recovering from the bubble that burst in 2000. But then 2008, when the financial crisis came in, the blockchain appeared, right? And another wave of people that got into tech and started to create all sorts of platforms and programs. And now, and this was like 2008, 2010, right? And now 10 years after, there's another wave of AI that gets even more people into tech. A lot of people are bragging that they can now write code using ChatGPT's features. So there's even more people coming into this domain. So there's another bubble and another, it's exciting, because a lot of people discover the domain. They come and they, and it's nice, to have witnessed everything, almost everything.
What lessons can you draw from, observing all these mega trends, and then, also the periods where they come down, they become commodity? What did you learn about technology and entrepreneurship in this time?
Somehow it's reinventing itself, and somehow it's like going back to the roots and reinventing again. This is what I see. It is an evolution, but it's an evolution in big steps. Somehow, because a lot of new people come in, they start somehow from zero. So in algorithms, they're still the same algorithms. And even, now in the age of AI, people start to learn about algorithms. So in a sense, everything is new, but everything is old. It's very hard to explain to somebody that's not witnessed this and is out of the domain. But
so anyway, there is a history repeating.
It's cyclical. It goes higher every time, and there's more people in it. And there's still a lot of money in it. Compared with a lot of other domains, there's still a lot of money in tech. And people are putting a lot of money in tech because one of the things that tech has and real estate doesn't, or manufacturing doesn't, is that once you create a product, like a software product, a program or a platform, you create it once and then you can sell it 1,000,000 times without making it 1,000,000 times.
True.
Whereas if you, make a pair of shoes, then you have to manufacture 1,000,000 pair of shoes in order to sell 1,000,000 pair of shoes. So everything is concrete, exists. In the virtual world, in the software world, things exist because we believe that they exist, but they don't. You don't have to make another copy to sell another copy. It's just there. You just buy it from a website. And that's something is like a dream come true from any like investors or economists out there, because they put money in to develop something, they invest in something, then they could potentially. It doesn't happen so often, that's why it's complicated, but potentially it can be the growth can be exponential. You can sell a lot of copies from what you've built without manufacturing those copies.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it is. The marginal cost at some time, becomes zero. So basically you're able to scale, and then this is how you get the 10x and the 5x and so on and so forth. Yeah.
That's the idea. In practice, it doesn't really happen, because you, as a company...
Tell me about the practice. I mean...
If you have a company that grows exponentially and then you get a lot more money, then you invest more in the product. I mean, you hire more people. That's how you invest in the product. So you hire more people. And in the end, if you look at the profitability of all of the big tech companies, you'll see that whenever they're doing great, they said, okay, we're doing great, we have more money, let's hire more people in order to develop more products, in order to be even bigger, especially since they are listed on a stock exchange. And if you're listed on a stock exchange, you are condemned to grow. You cannot stay still. If you stay still, you disappear, because of the value of the stock for a company is the future value. It's what the people think the future value will be. So if you are flat, then the future value doesn't grow, so people will sell their stock, so the company will go bankrupt. So you have to grow. So in order to grow, you have to invest more in products to stay competitive, because otherwise there are going to be incumbents that will disrupt your field, that will come up with the same solution that will be a lot cheaper, because they don't have 100,000 employees like big companies have, And at least at the beginning, they can sell for less a solution that's similar.
Yeah.
Because people are smart everywhere on the globe. So in any country, you can find programmers that can build things that are being built, just in Silicon Valley or wherever.
And if you're just as passionate about innovation as we are, hit subscribe for the Recursive Podcast on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform. We're everywhere.